Horses are used all the time for many different purposes. They can be simple companion horses, race horses, show jumping horses, and a variety of other things. If treated properly, these animals can really enjoy what they do for us and live a happy life in the care of humans. Where we have a problem is when the horses start getting used only as a profit for humans. Once people start caring about the overall well-being of the horses and they just care about the money we earn is when over-medicating becomes a big problem. Ace-promazone, phenylbutazone, Salix, and magnesium are commonly used in the health care of our horses. The problem arises when these seemingly harmless drugs are misused. Acepromazine, or ACE, is a medication that is commonly misused. ACE calms the horses and makes them easier to handle and ride. It is mostly used for show jumping horses. ACE can be very useful when you are rehabbing a horse, or you are bringing a horse back to work and they are too crazy to handle without them hurting themselves or you. It is also beneficial when you need to trim, clip, pull mane, or anything that may cause your horse a lot of stress. It is given to calm them so that you can get the job done. The problem with ACE is that it can be used unfairly in the show ring. A lot of horses get a little more high-strung and a little more nervous at the show than at home, so the trainers use ACE to be rid of that nervousness. ACE is also misused when dealing with inexperienced riders. The riders are unable to handle the horse because it is too advanced or they are too inexperienced. The horse is given ACE to calm them and to make them easier to ride. ACE also causes a drop in heart rate and decreased blood pressure. If the horse is given ACE in stressful situations, like a horse in a show ring, an injured horse, a horse that is colicking, or an exhausted horse, it can be dangerous and fatal. Phenylbutazone, commonly called Bute, is like horse aspirin. It is used to alleviate pain just like Advil or Motrin is for people. Bute can be used for any horse in any discipline. Bute is properly used when you have just given your horse a hard workout and you want to keep their muscles from getting sore. It is also used when you have a slightly injured horse and you are rehabbing them or bringing them back to work. It is used improperly when it is used to mask or cover lameness so that people can keep on showing. Salix is another drug that is generally used on racehorses. It reduces a common problem like bleeding in the lungs. It is a diuretic that causes the kidneys to increase the production of urine. Used correctly, it counteracts bleeding and diminishes the problem of exercise-induced pulmonary hemorrhage. Used improperly, it makes or hides respiratory problems that already exist so that the horse can continue racing. The problem with using these drugs is that they can give an unfair advantage at the horse shows. Bute and Salix can do things like mask lameness and respiratory problems. This is how people over-medicate their horses to make a profit. If a horse is unsound or lame, but the owner is trying to sell the horse or wants to continue showing, they can simply give the Bute to make the pain go away so that the horse can still be used. The problem with that is that if you keep using an injured horse, the injury can be made worse. So a simple unsoundness can turn into a much larger problem. Salix masks respiratory problems. If your horse has something like bleeding in the lungs or a hemorrhage, and you medicate them to keep racing, the horse could suffocate and die. This is all due to owners using horses as a profit and only caring about the profit. In the past few months, there was an incident where a show pony was killed from an overdose of magnesium at the Devon Horse Show in Pennsylvania. Magnesium is used in many of the same situations as ACE and has many of the same effects. The difference is that magnesium's proper use is as a supplement. When a horse has low levels of magnesium, it can be more nervous, have muscle tremors, be more excited, and it may have tight muscles. So giving it the supplement is actually very beneficial to the animal. The dangerous or improper use is when it is given IV to the horse to calm it before a show, or to make it easier to ride. According to the New York Times, at the show in Devon, Pennsylvania, a mother/trainer of the competitor injected a horse with magnesium. She gave the animal too large of a dosage. In doing so, she killed the animal. This article raised a lot of questions about medications and how they affect our horses. The questions were like, what medication should be legal, and who should be allowed to give the medications? There have been many attempts to stop over-medicating horses. For one, they have made rules that prohibit certain medications like ACE and Salix in the show environment. but there are still many legal drugs like bute and magnesium that can cause your horse a great deal of harm if it is used incorrectly. Equisearch.com suggests a solution. They say at racing competitions there is a new rule that says only veterinarians can give medications and drugs on the show premises. This may stop the use of the drugs entirely if they are illegal, and it also reduces the risk of an overdose. Unfortunately, not many people will adhere to this new rule. We need to create more awareness so that horse owners understand the dangers of using these drugs. We can do this by using articles and by creating a safer environment at the shows. I believe that once people understand the dangers of these drugs, that they will be more cautious when it comes to using them. I also think that each drug should come with its own instruction manual that describes what situations the drug can be used safely and properly and how much the animal can be given at those times. In doing this, it will raise awareness to the dangers of these drugs and will make all horse people more cautious when it comes to using them. Overall, over-medicating is drawing unwanted attention to the horse world, and it is something that is threatening the integrity of the sport and the lives and well-being of our horses, and it is something that needs to be stopped.